Hey guys, this is the What Do You Call Experience. Co-host Sadad Khan and our co-host Maverick. That's his name.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay, so I'm Maverick. Portland, Oregon, and moved to Seattle a couple years ago. So now I've just been living a good life. Taking it easy. Right now, I have bought a box of wine with me. And Sadad, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, this is Sadad. I'm a certified Chad. My certification renews December 12th, so I'll have to go get it removed. I might be moved down to the Daniel. I haven't really had much action this year. Because
They probably fucking hate us, to be honest.
Oh yes, the neighbor. I don't have a neighbor, but what you guys do,
yeah,
like Andy's fucking.
Yeah, he's screaming, bro. He's like, "What the hell is wrong with these two guys? Let me sleep."
Yeah.
Oh no. So if you don't go, we're three guys living in Seattle, South Lake Union.
Maverick. Let's start out with the woods.
The woods.
What happened in the woods 2 nights ago, Maverick?
Okay, man, this is an interesting story. Okay, so like I remember like it was actually yesterday.
Walk us through the detail.
It
was yesterday.
It was nearly. It should have been yesterday because that's how short it felt. But all right.
Okay. Walk us through the details. So you come home from work.
So I come from work, yeah, and then I just kind of broke up with someone, quote unquote, and it was like it was very intense.
Was it a female or a male?
Well, okay,
It's
I'm
2020.
not.
I don't want to assume.
I'm not
good.
All right.
I don't want to assume it's 2020.
Yeah, it's female. All right, female. Possibly like a shiatsu.
Shiatsu. That's your phone.
Oh my god. He's checking my DMs. But no, yeah. So it's a female. We just kind of figured out that it kind of wouldn't work for now. So just kind of on pause. But at the time, I was just super pissed off about the situation. So I remember coming home and for me, I'm someone who never smoked cigarettes, and this is one day I fucking needed some cigarettes. So
wait, Maverick, let me stop you right there. As the Surgeon General warns, tobacco is not good for your kids. If you're 13 years or older, do what you want with your life. It's a free country. The tobacco, no good for you.
Shut up.
If you want black ones, no black ones. All right, continue on, Maverick.
Dude, all right. So Dr. Knows over here. All right, so no. Okay, so I stopped by the store and I'm like, I need some cigarettes. So I literally get a full pack of American Spirit. This is my first time buying a pack, so it's I'm going through some heavy shit. So I get the pack and then I literally just go up to my rooftop just all alone. And I literally burn through,
it's a communal.
So I literally rip 3 darts, just no fucks given. So I'm and then I'm not crying at this point because I was born and raised to never show my emotions. So I'm just smoking some cigarettes, looking at the city skyline. I'm this is tough. So then kind of after that, I kind of take a shower. I'm kind of getting ready for the night. But then something in me just kind of snaps. So I'm all right, fuck it. I'm gonna go smoke some more cigarettes. It's whatever. So I literally put on my sweater. I go, I take 5 cigarettes with me, and then I go outside with my journal and my literally just a red Solo cup of wine. So I was kind of planning to go back to the rooftop, but instead of going straight up to the rooftop, I kind of walk on the road. Just there's a road near our place, so it's kind of a curved stretch. So then, I'm walking up there, and I literally, this time I'm walking barefooted. I literally have no shoes on or anything like that. So I remember just walking down the road, I don't care about my feet or anything like that.
So are you a feet guy or not?
To pull out, I will partake. That was a very good question. That was probably one of the best questions that you've ever asked me, Sadad. But yes, I would. It's it doesn't rank high on my priority list, but I enjoy them.
You enjoy them.
Sure. Yeah, alright. So walking down the road, sulking, and then there's this dark corner in the woods, right? And then I didn't notice at first, but there's this guy there, and he's just he's chilling out. It's pitch black pretty much. So and then he asks me hey man, are you okay? And then I'm I'm like, no, man, I'm not fucking okay. Like, oh, man, and it was just really stressful. And he's like, oh, come talk, man, come talk. And then he's
So,
like,
so you engaged with the guy in the woods.
yeah, pretty much. And then he handed me a beer. He's like,
What time of day was this?
This was like 9 at night.
9 at night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then he hands me a beer, and I was like a tall boy PBR, and he's like, oh man, here, it looks like you need one of these. And I'm like, yeah, man, I definitely do. And then I'm like, I'm taking back this, like, I'm literally drinking this tall boy super hard, and then we're kind of talking back and forth. And then and then he's like, no, tell me what's in your mind. So I tell him the whole story about what happened, and then he's like, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. He's very remorseful, very kind guy. And then I'm like, I kind of like look at my journal. I'm like, hey man, can I read you some of these thoughts? And these were like really toxic thoughts. Like I don't even want to say these thoughts on the microphone.
So Maverick, do you journal when you feel?
No, I actually journal kind of quite a bit, but I think actually journal excessively when I'm angry. So it's like if I'm emotional, I'm jotting down my thoughts. I'm like, all right, I want to remember this, and then by the end of it, I kind of burn up the note. So it's like very therapeutic for me.
It's a very therapeutic experience.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I used to know a lot of girls in middle school.
Fuck you. It's not a diary, bro.
It's not a diary.
It's a man journal.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
A thought.
This is 2020. You don't need to put gender on everything,
No.
Mr. Maverick. But
yeah,
it's a stress reliever. But yeah, go ahead.
Can I finish my story, or are you
Yes,
gonna interrupt me with this tedious question? No, okay, no,
The audience needs to know.
Oh man, we call him the guy, and then he's like, I read him the journal, and he's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. And then he actually offers me a hug, and I'm like, fuck yes, dude, And we hug, and we'll whip up for like a good 30 seconds, a minute. And then after that, he just pulls out. He's like, "Hey man, so your cigarettes look like it's funny. Smoke the ganj, and I'm not. I killed a couple wine. I killed the tall boy. So had a couple cigs. So I'm feeling all right. It's like the pain kind of went away. It's still there, but
So you guys
I'm kind of dealing with
wine.
wine. and then after that, I kind of had the brilliant idea. Oh, let's go out to the lake. And it's like, yeah, man. And then we both kind of thought about getting some more beers and then some more weed. So we went to the store and did that. We got more stuff, and then and then he's like, oh man, all right, let me actually just drop my longboard off in my car. I can actually drive us down there. So all right, so think about the situation, right? You literally just met this guy in the woods who just came out of the dark. He offers you like drugs and alcohol.
And proceeded, right?
And then I proceeded to get into his car. Just no questions asked.
Children, don't follow Mavericks. Children.
Maverick is a very risky guy. Let's just say like that.
Maverick does not use his
Okay.
You keep it quiet.
Okay. For young Andy. Yeah. But then I literally we get in the car with all these extra substances, right? And then we go to the beach, we're having some deep thoughts, and then like Maverick like fucking does, like sometimes he's a moron, like Sadat said. So if you live and you learn, I guess that's like Maverick's rule of law. And then we're enjoying the beach, having a conversation. My mood is a little bit up, so I'm like, all right, fucking man, this is a work day, but I'm like, all right, let's have a fucking bender tonight. So I'm like, I have some party favors back at my place. Let's go get them. Let's just stay up all night. And he's like, and this guy is just down. He's like, he didn't have to take a second to think about it. He was just like, fuck yeah, dude, let me just, I don't even need to get ready. I'm ready for these party favors. Let's fucking go. So then I remember.
What were these party favors?
Let's just say Molly and some cocaine.
Some coquina.
Cocaine.
Let's see. Straight from Mexico.
Mexico, yes sir. So,
all of which are legal in our state.
Yes. Yeah. And then, so I remember, so we literally stopped by 7-Eleven, and then just to get some snacks. I got a shit ton of the taquitos and chicken wings that I never even finished. But then I remember just driving home, I'm like, oh fuck, this is dangerous. Like I'm literally on the verge of blacking out. Like, is this guy gonna rape me? Is he gonna kill me? Is he gonna harvest my organs? That's a real thing. That shit happens. So I remember just I'm fading in and out of consciousness, just on the ride home, And then I remember stopping
Where'd you
abruptly.
guys go?
we were at the lake, at the South Lake Union Lake. So then we literally just was driving back to our place. And I remember just like blacking out, and then just like.
So you're on MDMA.
No. We didn't even get to pick up those things and do them. So pretty much I remember just driving home like drunk, like cross-faded, and then just like blacking out. And then I remember like someone slapping me pretty much, or like and then pouring some water in my face. And I'm like oh fuck, what the hell? And he's like, oh man, you're here. Sorry about that. He's like, I couldn't get you up. So I'm like, oh, thank you so much, man. And then we kind of peace out and go our separate ways. But that I'm glad that that stranger was such a good guy, because that could have gone very, very poorly.
Interesting.
So that's the story of the
Maverick in the Woods.
Maverick in the Woods.
Meeting a stranger, accepting his offerings.
Yes.
Ending it with a slap. All right, Maverick. What are you drinking right there?
Well, like I said in the beginning, I have bought a box of wine. In our house, there's no cup needed, so drinking out of the box.
My bed sheets are clean. Let's not make a mess with the bed sheets.
Alright, yeah, I just spilled on my pants. I'll probably spill something on there. No, I'm good.
Alright. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, let's go on. So, I dabble.
This man's a financier.
I'm what you call a connoisseur of the financial financial industry. So I like to sometimes dabble in options, which are basically
high risk investments.
Big, moderate to high risk investments.
Okay. Let me just preface this story with this. This man is a magician, right? So what he does is he takes your money and he'll make it disappear right before your very eyes.
This is actually my own money. I've never touched anyone else's money.
Yeah.
But either way, let me preface: gambling is not good unless you're cool. So if you're not cool, if you're a lazy bum, don't gamble. That's how life is. Either way. So I dabble in some options.
Yeah.
Recently.
You're a dabbler.
Yeah, I'm a dabbler. So when I first started dabbling, I don't know what was going on. I lost a decent bit of money, a few $1,000s here and there. Then a few weeks ago, I got it all back. I won it all back and then some.
Oh.
So I felt like top of the world. I finally made all my money back. Sad boy days over. Then I decided to a few days ago, I decided to say fuck it and go all in on some SPY, which is the S&P 500 index. I decided to go in for some calls in S&P 500. And if you can tell by the current day, which is the 29th, the SPY took a nosedive in dollar amounts, and options are hypersensitive towards the price of the stock. So I lost like $3,000 in the matter of a day. I lost a few more $100 today, and I just had some sad times. And I decided to eat myself, as I do when I get depressed. I ate a fuck ton.
Okay.
And I gained some weight. Now I gotta take it off.
How much do you weigh, Saddam?
Right now, I weigh a big old real close to the 200.
200. Okay, tell them what you had to eat yesterday.
Yes.
What was your binge snack after you lost?
Yesterday, after I became super sad, I decided to kill an entire bag of bagels.
Oh wow! Okay.
Or almost an entire bag. Yeah. I had 5 bagels to be exact.
See, what kind of bagels were these? Were these New York bagels?
These are the everything bagels.
Everything.
You know, I'm a diverse man. I like all cultures, all types.
There is your problem, man. There is your problem. You need those New York bagels that the finance bros eat.
You see,
yeah.
You are what you
are what you eat.
But I'm not
so you're a bagel,
bro.
Yes,
I am a bagel, which if you look at it is a big zero.
I can see it.
But either way, that's how my past few days have been. Just me losing a bunch of money that I've earned. Either way, it's not too interesting about my story.
No. I think that's interesting. It just kind of.
Yeah, just don't gamble. But I'm gonna make up my future self, Saddad in a month as a guarantee.
What's your goal?
Saddad from previous month is gonna make up all that money. I'm I'm gonna make the biggest trade deal that this country has ever seen, and I'm gonna work the markets. I'm gonna be scintillating towards the markets.
This man's gonna take out leverage. This man's gonna do 10 times leverage. He's gonna do margin calls. He's gonna do options. Everything risky.
If I see green, I fiend.
Going for it.
I fiend when I see green. Let's just call it like it is.
This man's a fiend.
For that green.
Damn.
But either way, my future self, I'm gonna make up all your money. Don't worry about retirement. Don't worry about COVID, etc. This is about it. It's a little bit of a piece of.
Yeah. No. Okay. I will. I studied economics in college, and this man is what we would call an irrational thinker.
The guru of finance. The Warren Buffett of Seattle. JK. They don't call me the Warren Buffett of Seattle. They call me Gandhi of Seattle. They call me I'm a mix between a Gandhi, a Khabib, UFC champ.
Might as well add in like Mandingo and Johnny Sins in there.
Dude, I mean, Maverick, you have a lot of knowledge on these characters. Why don't you speak about your knowledge on the male porn industry?
What are you talking about? Dude, Johnny Sins is an astronaut, bro. He's an astronaut, pizza guy, mechanic.
I see.
Bro,
do you know? Let's talk about this man named Johnny Sins. So he's an astronaut.
Yeah.
How do you know he's an astronaut?
Because there's a picture of him with an astronaut suit, bro.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But like, you
can't lie on the internet.
Ask about your credentials though. I see. So have you seen like scenes of him and stuff where he's an astronaut?
Yeah, bro. I've seen scenes of him where he's like a college, he's a college professor. He's obviously a PhD. Like, he had to study very vigorously. In order to
what do you think his research area was for his PhD?
I think his PhD was in deep penetration.
Deep penetration.
Yes.
I see this.
It's a lot of space. It's a very wide area, and it's the next frontier. So I think Mr. Johnny Sins, he's very interested in that kind of stuff. So he actually came from being a janitor all the way up to being a professor, and then an astronaut. So I just he took off, and he was actually one of the first people on Uranus. Interestingly enough,
Actually, I don't think we're gonna have to stop. This is a fact.
Politics hour. Right?
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Maverick, let's talk about your positions in politics.
Yeah, sure. So a little bit backstory about me. I'm more so fiscally conservative leaning, but when you talk about social issues, I'm definitely a lot more liberal on that front. So
would you call yourself a libtard? That's a
liberal.
Yeah, I heard that's a common phrase liberals like to use for describing themselves. So would you call yourself a libtard?
I don't know if any liberal is that what you call yourself?
Oh,
I call myself a fiscally conservative liberal.
Fiscally conservative liberal.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Fiscally conservative, socially liberal.
Yeah. So
there we go.
Yeah, because I feel like politics. It shouldn't have to be I necessarily pick and choose one side. I feel like it should be different topics. I have differing opinions on them, and I think that's how politics should work. And it's a shame that in this country we have a two-party system where you have to make a choice between one or the other, and social media and all these platforms it forces you to choose one side or the other, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Maverick, if you don't mind me asking,
no.
Are you for a third party system?
Definitely,
or
yeah.
a multi-party system?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I think
how do you see it coming into America, where a duopoly with a party system has existed since the conception of this country?
Mm-hmm.
How do you see a third party infiltrating America like it has infiltrated other countries in Europe, Asia, Africa?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a really hard question.
What do you think the first step might be towards having a third party grow?
Yeah. Well, I think it's just really hard in this time and age, just because of all the technology and the media right now. We're the current state of that. But in my opinion, and I'm gonna preface this I'm a fucking moron. I don't know much about politics. So for me, in order to get to a three-party system, kind of what you described, I think it kind of have to start off with encouraging people to have free thought. actual free thought and like actually like and then just like also give people more hope in the system. So that probably means like encouraging them to vote like not for the two biggest parties.
You said free thought. Are
Yeah.
you aware of the free thoughttiana movement?
No, I have no idea. It's like I said, I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. But yeah. Hashtag free thoughttiana. But yeah, continue with your thought. Sorry.
Yeah. So man, I don't have any coffee. I just have a little wine in me. So.
So you think encouraging people with free thought?
Yeah, encouraging with. I think I could do it. Maybe I'm too optimistic, and also taking money out of politics, because I feel like a lot of the big donors, right? They're sponsoring those two parties. So like the big donors, they more so have an interest in like keeping the system as is versus like us having like that like multiple parties, multiple choices where we can actually make more decisions.
So usually how it works is like the big donors, the companies give money to their respected super PACs.
Yeah.
So how do you think these politicians, how would you say they would actually go journey for their election campaign?
Mm-hmm.
How would they fund their election?
I think it would have to be like going back to that Bernie Sanders campaign. It had to be like a grassroots thing where you gather support from like those like smaller voters instead of like taking money from super PACs.
I see. Were you a Bernie bro ever?
No.
But you like the grassroots.
I do like the grassroots because that's not the money from corporations. That's the money from people, actual people like funneling the campaign. Like they say that you vote with your dollar, so there you go.
Yeah. It's like the money from little kids, like the young adults. And
Exactly. Yeah, little Timmy is like, man, I believe in Bernie Sanders. Here's $5, and then there's like millions of little Timmys across the country giving Bernie Sanders $5.
Exactly. Little Timmy. Little Noah could like spend $5 on his favorite Snickers, but instead he's gonna give it to Bernie Sanders.
$5 for a Snickers, bro. This finance has fucked you up.
we live in the West Coast. Right?
It used to be expensive in East Coast. What?
Prices are just different. Either way.
Seattle. Okay, Seattle's packed up, so.
Yeah.
But not $5.
This is just an example, offhanded example. But let's go. I see.
Okay, so I gave my spiel. Let's turn to you, Mr. Siddharth.
Mr. Khan.
Mr. Khan. Oh.
So
Sal Khan. The less intelligent version.
No. I was gonna start a Khan Academy, but it's still my idea.
Yeah, you probably start a Khan Academy for kindergartners.
Yeah, we can work your way up. That's how you built.
That's how
you built America. That's how we built Khan Academy.
Yeah. All right.
Either way, let's
jump in. Yep. Okay.
Talk
Your
about
politics. This is
so
politics.
I don't really have a what do you call it, position in politics. I don't have like a leaning.
Shit.
I don't have a leaning towards any side.
Mm-hmm.
I like listening to Alex Jones of Infowars talk. I also love listening to what's that guy? Either way, I don't know, but I get most of my news from Joe Rogan. So you know my politics. Just kidding. I don't have a side, but I would say I'm also socially liberal, fiscally not sure. Basically, I like some conservative ideas, but I also like some liberal ideas, like free healthcare or nationally funded healthcare, and some aspects of government and like basic human commodities should be funded by government with with checks and balances from the states, where there is not a big government overreach. But there's also some parts where we're being conservative on some parts of our budget, like let's say the military budget, or even our budget on I think insurance. I'm not sure, but it's ridiculous. Either way, that's how I fall. I would say for a third party system, we need to take money. We need to take the super PACs away.
Mhm.
But
So you
I
just
also
copied
think
my answer for the record.
yes, yeah, well, it's a decent idea, but we can make it better. We need a complete demolition of the U.S. government. We need to copy. Let's just keep it real 100 in the what do you call it?
Tell it to me
Experience.
straight, homie.
Okay, so you sometimes have to copy greatness. Sometimes greatness can't. Greatness has to be copied.
Exactly.
Most
So,
other countries have a
Saddam,
parliament government.
Okay.
I believe we can copy that government. It's never going to happen, but I think we could. One man can dream. I think we can copy it.
No, yeah.
And that'll what do you call? They'll influence a more
A better system, right?
different party system.
Yeah. Because like in my view, I think I was reading a book and then like one of the things it talked about was like having flexibility. So like flexibility in terms of like being able to like notice something that other people are doing and then being able to take it and like incorporate it into your own system in order to like better what you're doing.
Interesting. But yeah, I am a complete retard when it comes to politics, so don't take my answers with a grain of salt.
We already knew that though.
This man always prejudging. Dude, for a person living on the West Coast, it's a lot of prejudice.
No, I'm just a straight shooter. I'm always honest.
You straight shot with the guy in the woods. Dude, they made Cabin in the Woods, now they're making Two Guys in the Woods.
Yeah, 2 girls, 1 cup, 2 guys, one wood.
You said it, not me, brother. But yeah. So say go out and vote. That's an important topic. Everyone's Facebook's telling you, Google Maps is telling you, your mom's telling you, freaking the
your
TV's
grandma's
telling you. My alarm clock just told me to go vote. Everything's telling you to vote. So I'd say, sure, go ahead and vote. I guess it's a right you have.
All right. So I just want to talk about voting. So voting, it's an important part of democracy. Not many the reason why everyone is telling you to vote is because like literally no one votes in America. So it's about damn time that people.
Do you have facts?
I do have facts. I have.
What was the voting turnout?
There's a statistic. So I think only 62% of Americans really vote in the presidential election in prior years, and on lower levels it's even worse than that. So how do you everyone focus on the presidency, but we as a country need to start prioritizing voting on the lower levels as well as like the presidency. So don't only vote for the presidency, but also vote on all levels, because that's how the democracy is supposed to work. Everyone votes. Everyone has a voice.
I see. So, but how would you get these people? Because I'm sure there's people on both sides of the aisle that don't go to vote, even though they have the power to. How do you get these people out to vote?
So
even if you just tell them, it's like, how would you get them out?
You just pretty much I think like people do want to vote, but like you have to make it as easy as possible. So like opening all accesses of voting. So like mail-in voting, ballot voting. Just make sure there's like a way for everyone to do it easily. And then you also want to like remove the barriers. So make sure that there's like if it's like mail-in voting, make sure like people in rural areas don't have to drive like miles on end or like to the nearest town just to even like
drop
vote.
it.
Yeah, exactly. So making it accessible for everyone.
Wouldn't you say this would what about if this introduced voter fraud?
Voter fraud. See, that's a good question, and I feel like there are ways that you can kind of control that. It's hard to like probably manipulate those like those like in like mail-in ballots. So that's probably like the better option to do. Just like by just make it accessible by paper, by mail. Just make sure everyone is aware of it. And
I think you need to give people more incentive to vote.
Incentive. So like what money?
Because like presidential election, at least there's like some sort of showcase. Like more people tend to go vote for presidential elections than midterm elections because there's like two people. It's a simple thing. There's two people. There's one side and another side. It's kind of like sports. You want to see one side win, or you want to see another side lose, so you vote.
So let's.
But like, how would you get the same amount and even more voter turnout in your local sheriff elections, in your state level elections?
I got it. Gambling.
Over
and unders. You can bet money.
Yeah.
That's how you.
So you'd create a gambling mini game that that suffices voting voter turnout. Okay, interesting. That might work.
Maybe.
I would say.
I'm like I said, I'm totally stupid about politics, so
No, that
totally
could
wrong.
be a good idea. You know,
Yeah.
I would honestly just make it to where you get what do you call it? You get some sort of
like voucher.
No, not a voucher. You, as a tax-paying American, you get a write-off if there's records indicating that you voted. You get a certain write-off for like that day or that expense. It's like it's like you could go say like you went like you stood in line for 10 hours, even though like the voting days, the national election and like midterm election, I would say they should be just national federal holidays, but also for your local elections, if you go and spend the effort to vote, you can have it as a write-off to where if you have an occupation, the government will pay you whatever amount of time. Let's say you took 2 hours to go vote for your sheriff. So when it comes time to do taxes, you could if the records indicate that you voted for the sheriff election, they'll give you 2 hours of pay because you've used 2 hours of your time that you could have been working to go vote. So I'd say it's
not bad. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. But the gambling idea does sound interesting.
Okay. No, awesome. No, I think that was a very good political discussion. Let's close out with something fun. All right, so let's do like kind of a draft.
Draft.
All right, so let's do a draft of top 5 NBA players.
Top 5 NBA players for our international listeners. The NBA is a national basketball
we're worldwide.
We're an international podcast.
Right.
It's a basketball association in America.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've heard of it, the NBA.
Do you need to explain basketball?
No, we don't need to explain basketball.
You dribble and then you shoot.
Well, you bounce basket,
bounce ball
up and down. Then you go, ooh.
What?
And then you go, ooh, with the hand, and the ball goes in the hole. You get point. If you get more points than the other team, you win. It's a team game. Either way, for the NBA, so let's basketball draft. So does it have to be current players?
It can be all time.
All time players. Well, that seems like it'd be like a lot of players you'd have to say.
Yeah. You don't have to sit there, just on top of your mind, and
your five-player draft. All right.
Yeah, right now.
All right, Mr. Maverick, what's your 5-player draft?
All right, so
starting 5, right? No reserves.
Starting 5, no reserves. Gotta go out on the floor. Dream team, whatever. All right, so starting at point guard, I think for me, there's all these flashy point guards. They do really cool stuff, but I think I'm gonna take it back to the fundamentals. I think I'm probably going with a pure passing kid.
Jason Kidd is point guard. What's the next?
So I think so Jason Kidd, just because he's such a smooth passer. I'm looking for some high IQ. I'm looking for a high IQ point guard, not someone who can take up 50 shots. So I think that.
Do we have any of those in our current in the current game?
I'm not gonna call anyone out, but Mr.
Westbrook. He is physically 2 feet taller than you.
Yeah, but it's okay. Is he gonna listen to this podcast? You know what? If Russell Westbrook listens to a shout at this podcast and he hears that, he can beat my ass.
All right, Mr. Westbrook. You have the permission to beat Maverick's butt.
All right.
He'll probably like
it. All right. So coming at number 2 slot, shooting guard. Man, this is a tough one for me, but I gotta go with Michael Jordan. MJ.
What a cop-out answer.
You can't deny that. 6 championships. You look at the resume, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
right? No one can really stop it.
6 rings.
One of the greatest leaders of all time. He can put anyone in line.
Yeah. As I come to think of it, me and MJ have a lot of things in common. 6 rings. I have had 6 ring pops.
Oh, six bagels.
I've had 6 bagels, which are in the shape of a ring. Complete competitor. Complete competitor. Tenacious athlete.
This man weighs 200 pounds, by the way.
Exactly. Michael Jordan was. We're on the same weight class. Either way, gambling addiction, finance addiction. But let's go shooting guard.
All right. So and then, what you just jumped? Okay, so you forgot small forward.
I don't know the position.
Okay, so at small forward.
This
is a tough one, but I'm taking a small forward. I'm taking a Mr. LeBron James. As cliche it is, I think he's been through a lot of adversity. I think he's got a lot of grit. So even though he's lost a lot, he still wins at the end of the day. So
You think he cries to bed with his slave labor shoes in China?
Probably. Well, Jordan was Nike too, so.
Well, Republicans buy Nikes too. That was his line.
Yeah, that's true.
But
you're talking about slave labor.
Well, in this situation,
Okay.
they are using. I think they're using the Uyghur population to do manufactured.
Yeah, Uyghurs and little children, maybe.
Yeah,
but, all right. So and then the next, at power forward, I'm picking up Kevin Durant, one of the smoothest scorers ever. So it's he'll be good. He might not provide much defense, but he's killing it with the with threes and all the driving things like that. So to kind of finish it off at center.
Very immature on social media, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. Burner accounts for days. So this is like one thing we agree on. So on center, I think you need an enforcer. So I'm going with Zaza Pachulia. Zaza shot. We need someone to put their foot under that. I got three guys who can score. One white guy who can pass, and then one enforcer.
Okay.
Dream team, baby.
Wait, who's the guy who can pass?
Jason Kidd.
I see. One white guy.
This is diverse.
Zaza's also white.
He's not white though. He's like Middle Eastern.
Okay, I don't know.
I could be wrong. But
I don't see color because I'm a person of the human race.
Ah, okay.
But I'd say mine.
Okay, so yeah, you go for it.
Mine would be called
point guard.
My point guard. I would say I'd actually have to look this up point guard wise because I don't actually know the positions that well.
Just say a fucking basic name like Steph Curry. Like
no. Point guard wise.
We are gonna be here all night. He's gonna have to Google every position.
No. Okay, let's start out with the easiest one. Center. Actually, okay. Point guard. Let's start out with
center is like the hardest one.
You see, I like to have a challenge, so I'm gonna do it with current players.
All right.
In the game.
That's
so
easier,
point guard wise, no, that's not easier because
easier.
You have a wider range of players.
Okay.
Okay, so point guard.
Yeah.
I would.
No, that's an easy way out because you don't have the knowledge.
No. Okay, actually, fine. Let's
all right.
Let's go with everyone.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Point guard wise, I want a pure point guard. Someone who's a point guard to the core. We're going with John Stockton.
Damn. Okay. A shorter white guy than my choice, but all right. Wait. You said current players, didn't you?
No. But I said since it'll take a while, I'll just use the same one I did. So John Stockton for a point guard. What's the next one? Shooting guard.
Shooting guard.
For shooting guard, well, we're gonna have to go with the GOAT MJ on this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You honestly can't argue with facts.
Yeah. He is the GOAT. For what's the next position?
Small forward. Small forward.
Or small forward.
Yeah.
Let me see. Small forward.
Yes. This man's googling. All right, small forwards in the NBA.
Yeah. Small forwards. Interesting. For small forwards, you know what? For small forwards, I'm going with Did Pete Maravich a small forward?
I think he was shooting guard. He seems kind of small, but
okay, never mind.
Just Google small forwards in history and just pull one off the list.
No, I gotta go with someone I've seen.
Okay.
What about? Oh, dude, Jerry West or no?
No, he's a point guard. Or no, I think he's shooting guard actually.
Fine. We're going with for small forwards. We're going with Jimmy Buckets.
All right,
NBA
fair enough.
He's got heart. He's a dog.
Yeah.
He literally, dude. The performance he put up in Game 5 Game 5 in the NBA.
Yeah.
Sensational.
But he fizzled out in the next games.
Yeah. But like two of the top 3 players were also injured for his team, and they were like a huge underdog.
Very true.
Like Jimmy Butler has some heart that I don't see, even in like players way better than him.
Yeah.
Then for my power forward, I think it'd be interesting. It's kind of hard for me. I'm trying to choose between 2 players who are kind of a complete package of power forward position. It's between what'd you call it? What's his name? Power forward was who's the guy who played for Dirk?
Dirk?
Between
Oh,
Dirk
damn.
and Tim Duncan.
The LeBron stopper.
The LeBron stopper.
Yeah.
His 2011 chip was
2011.
amazing. 2011 run.
Yeah.
This man faced prime LeBron.
Yeah.
Almost
turned
prime
LeBron
Wade.
LeBron
Prime
Bosh.
Bosh.
Yeah,
Prime
Bosh Spice.
Did they also have Ray? Did they have Ray?
Not at that time. I think
Okay.
Ray Allen came out in like 12, 13.
But either way,
Yeah.
it's like who did Dirk have? I don't even know any.
Sean Marion,
Marion.
Terry Crews. No.
Terry Crews, an actor. Yeah, yes. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This man single-handedly stopped the other kid.
Yeah.
Him or Tim Duncan. I would.
Damn.
It's like a switch.
It's pretty
I
good.
don't know.
The big fundamental versus like the fadeaway guy.
The big fundamental versus fadeaway. Let's see. Who did I have before? So I had MJ. He'll take care of scoring.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm going with Tim Duncan on this one because I think Dirk is more of a scoring power forward. If I'm correct. I think we have enough scoring with Tim Duncan and what's his name? Well, actually, no. I'd have to go with Dirk because I think Jimmy provides a lot more flexibility. Jimmy and John Stockton aren't really pure scorers in their position, so we'd go with Dirk, MJ for the scoring, and then my center, classic center, the domination man, Bill Laimbeer. Zaza might stick his foot out when he drives in the basket. He'll pull out a 22 revolver.
Bill Laimbeer's like, yeah, you're not leaving this game alive, buddy. It's over for you.
Yes. My team would actually be.
Your team would actually kill any other
My team would go
like,
80-0.
Because
they would go
the other team
100-0
wouldn't even make
if the
it out.
cameras are off. My team would go 100-0 if the cameras are off. But yeah, that's all we have for the first episode of the What Do You Call It experience.
What Do You Call It experience, guys. So thanks for listening. Please subscribe to the Twitch. Hit that smash that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Our 10 fans who are listening, if we're lucky, we appreciate you listening this long to our bullshit, and we're gonna keep putting out episodes. So thank you so much.
I never meant to cause you any sorrow. I never meant to cause you any pain.